it's just been a stunning fall from grace. Obviously, there's a lot of heat right now on Pat Gelsinger, but he took over in 2021. And just give us some context on how bad of a hand he was dealt.
Well, when you look at Intel, there are two main segments. One is on the design side, what they're doing with PCs and data centers. The other one is the foundry side. I think it's
wait. One of those exists and the other one does not, right? I mean, how much of a foundry business do they have?
Well, it's pretty sizable. In fact, that's the money-losing part that is really weighing on the gross margins. So Intel gross margins went from mid-55% to less than 40% this quarter.
The question is whether the customers exist, right?
Yeah.
And so, look, Intel uses its own foundry. So the reason why they had a big, sizable foundry business, they opened it for external clients, but they use their own foundry to make the data center and the PC chips. So it's not that it's all for customers, it's not working out. The problem that Intel has is on the data center side, when the whole market is growing, I mean, in the case of NVIDIA, growing 100% plus, they are losing share. Their data center business went from $20 billion to $12 billion. Mm-hmm. And that's where, when you have such tailwind, when you are such an environment, you have to find a way to participate.
It's interesting. At the end of this meeting, we have reported here at Bloomberg that this is somebody, Pat Gelsinger, who may not be expected to right away come out with a decision at the end of this meeting, but we have a sense of what the options are. In your view, are any of these options good options?
I mean, the best option here is to figure out a way to divest the foundry business because, like I said, it's almost losing like $7 billion a year, and it's a very high fixed cost business. You have to invest in fabs. I mean, they're getting the money from the US government to invest in the fabs. But still, I think they just have to find a way to focus more on PCs, their core business, and AI tailwind is there. I mean, that's the one big driver for every semi company out there. They have to find a way to participate in that AI tailwind.
How much input does the US government have? I mean, if they're going to put in, $20 billion for Intel to build a factory in central Ohio, shouldn't they have some sort of say in, whether or not Intel splits up these businesses?
I mean, I look at it this way. All the hyperscalers plan to increase their capex to build AI clusters. Why can't the government convince one of these hyperscalers to use Intel Foundry?
Right. Well,
that's the solution.
Well, that's the big question. I mean, in a detail in this story by Ian King, fantastic reporting, is that Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo has tried to help the foundry business, of course, encouraging the likes of AMD, NVIDIA to consider manufacturing at the Ohio facility. Apparently, that's not working. Why don't they want to actually do that and partner up with Intel here?
So that's where the process node capability comes in. TSMC, when they say they have a 3-nanometer process node at scale, they're making all of NVIDIA's chips as well as Apple's iPhone chips, the latest one, iPhone 16. And Intel is just not there when it comes to the foundry side, the leading node manufacturing that everyone needs to participate in these mega cycles. So that's the missing element. And that's where, separating the business may make sense because you need separate execution on the foundry side and the design side.